This is the new Midland GXT3000 GMRS radio, nay, GMRS radii, plural, because this box comes with two radios within its cardboard confines. The Midland GXT3000 is a new handheld GMRS walkie-talkie radio designed specifically for non-radio dorks. And by that I mean that the radio is very simple to use, specifically while outside in the sunshine whilst making adventure. Something that we all know radio dorks never do. The new Midland GXT3000 costs about $150 of monies for two radios. And if you do the maths, that equates to only about $75 of monies per radio. Affiliate link below. And yes, the Midland Corporation did send me these new, just released GXT3000 handheld GMRS walkie-talkie radios at no cost to me so that I could share them with you, my favorite viewer. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to begin with the basics. The radios contained within this environmentally agnostic box are GMRS radios. This means that unless you want to make our overlords at the FCC's very sad, you will need a GMRS license to transmit on these radios. You do not need a license to purchase, possess, or listen to a GMRS radio. Nay, our overlords at the FCC's have decreed that thou must only have a license to transmit on a GMRS radio. There is no test to obtain a GMRS license other than maneuvering your way through the dumpster fire that is the FCC's website. And the good news is that after you figure that part out, you just simply click on the appropriate links, push the appropriate buttons on the keyboard of your computing machine, and then send them $35 of monies. And in return, the FCC's will grant you a GMRS call sign that allows you and everyone in your immediate family to use any GMRS radio for 10 years. And because these are GMRS radios, as indicated right here on the box, that means that like with all GMRS radios, no programming or anything is required to use them. You simply take them out of the box, turn them on, pick a channel, gently squeeze the push-to-talk trigger, and talk. These radios are repeater capable. However, to use a repeater, you must first know what channel said repeater is on, and you will have to go into the menus of the radio and enter the repeater tone specific to that repeater, which you will have to obtain from the repeater owner, because that is how repeaters work. Further, because these are GMRS radios, like all GMRS radios, it is compatible with and can talk to FRS radios, which do not require any license at all to use. And right up front, I feel that it is my duty to point out for all of the experts watching that just cannot seem to keep themselves from leaving stupid comments about this type of radio, and I cannot emphasize this enough. These radios are not made in China. In fact, the Midland Corporation is based right here in these United States of America, and as you can see with your very own two ocular reception sacks, these radios are assembled in Philippines, not in China. So for all of you experts that keep leaving comments that you refuse to support China, here you go. This radio is made by an American company and it is not assembled in China. So I expect that you will all purchase one, right? Because there is no way you were just leaving those stupid comments just for attention or to try to feel superior to everyone else, right? Irregardlessly, when you do purchase a box of Midland GXT3000 GMRS radios, in the box you will receive a user manual, 30 pages long and written in perfect English, explaining not only how to use the radio and all of its functions and features therein, but also explaining a little bit about how the GMRS works, and it is all written in a font that is large enough to actually see. You will receive 2 boom microphone headsets, which are not total junk, such as what comes with many of those cheap Chinese junk radios. You will receive 2 rechargeable batteries that hold 1,800 milliamp hours of electricity each. In case you're counting, this is just one. However, you do receive 2. You will receive 2 sturdy belt clips, which, when affixed to the radio, will allow you to securely and stylishly affix the radio or radii to your belt or backpack. You will receive a USB-C's cable, which can be combined with the included USB-C's wall charger, which has both a USB-C's and a USB-A's hole. You will also receive this 12-volt hole charging port adapter for plugging into the 12-volt hole that you find in your vehicle, thusly allowing you to charge the radios. And you will receive this dual desktop charger, which also connects via the USB-C's, allowing you to conveniently charge both radios at the same time by inserting them into the charging holes. As previously mentioned, you will receive not 1, but 2 GXT3000 handheld GMRS walkie-talkie radios. On the radio, you will find a short, rigid, and tough antenna, a volume and on-off control knob on the side, a push-to-talk trigger, a USB-C's port hole, which will allow you to charge the radio directly, holes for connecting external microphones or the included boom microphones. As previously mentioned, the radio uses a rechargeable battery. However, should you choose, you can also power it with 3 standard AAA type batteries. As you can see, the radio has... I almost forgot. As you can see, the radio has a large and easy to read display. It is not cluttered, nor is it busy, and the screen performs very well outdoors and in bright sunlight. The radio is very lightweight, even with the batteries in it, which some people may describe as a plasticky feeling, but anyone that actually ever leaves their couch and carries a radio with them for adventure would understand that lightweight is better. A radio dork, however, would not be able to comprehend such an idea. The radio has a JIS-4 waterproof rating, which basically means that the radio is splash resistant, so I do not recommend playing with it in the bathtub or whilst kayaking. And according to one of the directors of marketing at the Midland Corporation of Murica, this is a super heterodyne type radio. Now, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to be very clear about this. Most of the people that would be interested in purchasing this radio will have absolutely no idea what that means, nor do they need to know. I only mention this to preemptively shut up the online experts that would otherwise leave stupid comments complaining that these radios are just junk because they are not super heterodyne type radios. However, these are indeed super heterodyne type radios. And unlike many other older Midland radios, this radio can do both the wideband and the narrowband. As previously mentioned, just like all GMRS radios, it has the 22 basic GMRS channels pre-programmed and ready to use, and channels 23 through 50 are those same GMRS channels, but with preset and unchangeable privacy codes, which, stay with me now, are not private. The Midland Corporation, along with the rest of Big GMRS, continues to gaslight us about privacy codes, which are not private in any way. These codes, also known as CTCSS or DCS or DTC tones, allow you to talk to someone using another radio over an existing channel and using the same tone or code without being bothered by hearing anyone else on that channel unless they are also using that same code on their radio. So if you put both of these radios on channel 23, which is just GMRS channel 1 with a privacy code enabled, you can talk with your friend on the other radio and all you will hear is each other. It is like you are having a private conversation with nobody else butting in or making any obscene noises from their radios. However, anyone that is within radio range using a regular off-the-shelf, unmodified, and unprogrammed GMRS or FRS radio set to channel 1 will hear everything that the two of you say whilst speaking with each other. If those other people try to talk to you, you will not hear them, but they will hear you. Ladies and gentlemen, most people with even a rudimentary grasp on the English language would probably agree that this is not private. And yet, big GMRS, including the Midland Corporation, continue the lie that these radios have privacy codes. This radio can receive and scan the NOAA weather channels, and it can also receive NOAA weather alerts. However, the radio must be in weather channel listening mode to receive weather alerts, so you can only use the radio as either a weather alert radio or a GMRS radio. The radio has an LED flashlight, which is more than bright enough should you find yourself experiencing a zero luminosity emergency. And the radio has voice activation, also known as Vox. This means that if you are using one of the included headsets, you can just talk or burp, and the radio will automatically transmit without having to pull the push-to-talk trigger. To change the channels using the up or down arrow buttons, one must first press the menu button. Now, no doubt, some people will leave stupid comments complaining about this, but if they ever actually left their couch and used a radio while adventuring in the outdoors, they would understand that this is a very good feature that prevents you from accidentally changing the channel during vigorous adventuring activities. Again, something that the radio dorks and experts cannot comprehend. The radio also has a dual watch feature, so you can listen to two different channels at the same time, should you feel the need to do so. And because this radio is designed specifically to be easy to use, it has no squelch setting. The squelch is all automated, and it seems to work just as intended. Midland does not make any programming software for this radio, and you cannot use this radio with the free Chirp software. So you cannot give alphanumeric names to channels or add custom channels, nor can you have multiple repeaters using the same frequency with different tones. However, all of these things are features that only radio dorks care about. Most actual adventurers and normal people will not care about any of that. As I mentioned only a moment ago, out of the box, pretty much everything on the radio works. You just turn it on, select the channel, and gently squeeze the push-to-talk trigger and talk. However, to enable repeaters or to make other advanced changes, you must go into the menus, which are not the easiest to use. And of course, in typical Midland fashion, to do things such as setting a privacy tone, which I just explained only moments ago is not private in any way. To set a tone, it is a pain in the bitch, because Midland still forces you to look up the real tone in a list, which is in the back of the user manual, and then input the corresponding number into the radio instead of just entering the tone or selecting the tone from a list on the radio screen itself like every other GMRS manufacturer in the world. But on the bright side, I suppose that once you set your tone, for example, to use a repeater, you will rarely, if ever, have to do it again. And what is even more important is that this radio does have a Roger beep. However, it does not have what us radio experts call a side tone. This means that people over the air can hear the sweet melodic tones of your Roger beep. However, you will not hear it. The Midland Corporation is a bit mysterious about the RF electricity's output of this radio, and I cannot test the output because the antenna is not removable. And the antenna is not removable because only radio dorks care about having a removable antenna, and in the real world, what matters to most normal people is not some power output number. What matters is how many FARs does it talks. And before I talk about that, allow me to just clarify that even though the antenna is not removable, it is still a GMRS radio. Hopefully that prevents a lot of stupid comments. Ladies and gentlemen, when we talk about FARs, using this radio, I was able to talk to my friend Conrad, the chef, on his big base station radio with a large antenna on his roof, loud and clear from 13 miles away. And I was able to talk to him from this very radio on his handheld radio, which is similar to this one, also from 13 miles away. The signals were weak, but this radio was able to talk with another handheld radio directly, radio to radio, no repeater, using what us experts refer to as simplex, from 13 miles away. However, it is important to remember that the Nada Rubicon Institute for Advanced Sardonic Studies is located high atop a golden hilltop overlooking the squalid urban decay below. Ladies and gentlemen, what I am saying to you is that my experience is a best case scenario, and your FARs will vary. So if you are not a radio dork and you are looking for some simple, very easy to use radios that are not made in China and are from a company based right here in these United States of America that does not cost you arms or legs, then these just might be the radios for you.